Hello to all as we join you on Facebook Live. We come to you live from Rustomjee Seasons in BKC. On the occasion of World Environment Day, we are being joined by CMD Rustomjee Group, Mr. Boman Irani. He'll share his thoughts on the sustainable initiatives being taken by Rustomjee Group. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
First of all, Nikhil, I'd like to wish everybody a happy World Environment Day. I think it's very important we celebrate this day in its entirety. If it's possible, let's celebrate the entire week, which is what we're doing at Rustomjee. And basically, it is very, very important to start, celebrating this with the children, because they are the ones who are, who take this entire legacy forward. So, Nikhil, just to tell you, Indians by nature,
Right.
we are extremely environmentally friendly. We were at least extremely environmentally friendly. If you remember in the villages, they used to use earthen pots to cool water. And this concept of waste was actually non-existent. So Indians by nature, even today, we try to, reuse and recycle a lot. So we have Kabadi who comes home and takes your newspapers, and he comes home and takes your cans and tins and stuff like that. So we at inherently, by nature, are an extremely, I would say, environmentally progressive thinking, people, right? But what's happening in this generation? We've all moved towards convenience, and I'm not saying it's bad. We all need to be out there and make lives a little more comfortable for everybody. But at the same point of time, let us never forget that if we do not take care of the environment, the environment is going to come back to us. It's cyclical. So at one point of time, if you just aren't watchful enough of the kind of chemicals that are being used, let's say in your farms or in your fields, or if you're not watchful that your plastic, which is being dumped into the oceans, it is all coming back to you in your food cycle itself. So if you see animals on the streets are eating those plastic garbage, and DDT, if it is still being used, is going into your plants, and you're consuming it. Right. And the fishes are it's a known fact. You can see so many of these serials in which they show you that the seas are so polluted that it's coming back to you. Sure. In terms of the fishes are also contaminated. So one has to be extremely careful. And I think at Rustomjee, we are very thoughtful about this, and we lay a great amount of importance to the continuous training that we impart to our internal teams, and then we actually use the medium of students through our schools and other schools to continue growing this information about environment. I don't think you, me, anybody actually is someone who willingly or wantingly does things that are, harmful. But it's ignorant, right? More often than not, we just kind of dump something away. It's ignorance. So it's very important that we carry out more and more eminent people who matter should come out there and speak about refuse. Don't just buy things for the heck of it. Reuse and try to reuse things as many times as possible. And after you've done with the reuse, recycle it, like we've done, like our forefathers have done in India. Let us never forget this tradition.
Absolutely. Sir, it's great that a business leader like you is so aware about the pollutions, about the realities of the environment that we face today. Having said that, sir, what are eco-friendly measures or sustainable measures that we are undertaking at Rustomjee?
So, at Rustomjee, we are very watchful and very thoughtful for the end use of our clients, of a homemaker. So, towards that, there are things that he or she would experience in our homes, and there are things that he or she should be happy about without even being able to visibly see what we have done. So it starts with the autoclaved aerated concrete blocks that we use instead of just clay. Sure. And clay, as you know, is actually that fertile topsoil which more often than not gets eroded for making conventional bricks. Then for keeping a home well air conditioned, we kind of use a very low U glass. What that does is it cuts out the heat, doesn't cut out the light that comes into the apartment. So you have a very visibly bright apartment, but at the same point of time it doesn't get hot in your apartment, right? And then this helps you to kind of save on your electric costs, and by virtue of that save the environment. Very importantly, it actually starts with the design also. We try and use maximum of the north light that's possible, because that's the coolest light. So it starts at the design phase itself. We plan our buildings wherein wind direction is taken, which is all architects, all good architects today do. We're just very encouraging of them to continue doing it against a lot of other odds. We encourage them to kind of create designs that would mean that our home users would have the best in terms of wind, which is natural cooling phenomena, best in terms of light, which would allow them to have a cool light, etc. We also work very strongly. Water is so precious, right? And we as Indians worship the elements. We should be extremely mindful of the water usage. So towards that, in every Rustomjee home, you'll find water-saving devices like the nozzles that we use, spray out lesser water with aeration done therein, so that the purpose that you're using it for, whether it is for a shower or just to wash your hands, is perfectly taken care of. But at the same point of time, there is less than 50% of the water that you would have normally used in let's say flushing or in washing your hands or in taking a shower, that you would if you were not using one of our provided bathroom fixtures. Then all passages, all your common areas, we use LED lights. That again kind of reduces the load on the electric consumption. At the same point of time, we also have auto sensors placed so that the lights are at the minimal usage unless there is a ingress by somebody. So if you visit our parking lots, there is ample light, but it gets brighter the moment a car starts moving. The sensors pick it up, and those LEDs just all of the light up at one point of time. So that gives you the light. So safety is not compromised. At the same point of time, you have the best use of electricity in these areas. And as you know, we are continuously keeping all our basements or our wherever there is traffic movement is extremely well lit. It has to be. Having said that, and smaller things like engineered wood instead of pure wood in our floorings is something that we encourage our interior designers and architects to use. One very important thing we do is use very low VOC paints from very good companies. Nikhil, it's extremely important to kind of be aware first. So we keep our engineers and our architects totally in the know of every new, how do I say this, environmental friendly technology available. And we keep them in the know, and then we kind of try and imbibe it in our developments.
Brilliant, brilliant. These are all exceptional measures, sir. But as opposed to conventional building style, when you start using green materials, how does the cost dynamic change?
I believe we all should build for value rather than just the price. Yes, you're right. It is expensive in terms of what I pay out today. But if you take the longer survival of my home users, and you take the fact that the longer survival of people at large, it's very important that we, at least those of us who can and those of us who have a desire to want to do something like this, I would say we are actually building a tribe of people who are being, as a consumer of ours, you would be made aware of all the environmentally friendly usage that we've done in our buildings, and then encourage you, because you're the long-term user of it, and anything just provided and not used well could actually cause greater harm. We kind of educate you, we kind of train our consumers, we kind of build a soldier in them, if I may say so, who then takes care of everything that has been built. So I would say this 15-20% is a small price to pay for the longer good, and the moment your consumer realizes, he takes great pride, or he or she takes great pride in the fact that here they are contributing, even by just living in a Rustomjee home, are contributing to the environment in a large way.
Right. So you said that making sort of green ambassadors out of people who live in your homes. So what does it take to maintain a greenhouse?
Everything needs maintenance, of course. I don't think it's any different from, it's like asking me whether an electric vehicle would be requiring more maintenance than an auto combustion engine. I think no. I think it's all the same. I think a home is a home. All the products that we use are actually longer term, durable products that are used. When you work with great companies, whether it be in an MEP space, or it be in your facade space, or it be in your just landscaping space, what you're actually doing is building a lot of value in out there. And with that value, any maintenance that would have been there for the normal products is good enough for this. It's only that you have to be aware. I mean, you have to keep yourself informed at all points of time what exactly one needs to do. So we actually give a manual along with every home that we give, and we kind of even prescribe the kind of cleaning liquids that one should use in let's say just the bathrooms. We kind of educate the home staff about how to dispose of their sanitary usages, etc., waste, etc. We kind of have every home is provided with a wet and a dry box. Now we are planning to go wet, dry, and then medical purposes. So basically, we might even segregate plastic, paper, which is very, very important to do. And then, though Indian homes, I must say, by far, we're very, very fortunate. Even today, the housewife is such an amazing person. She kind of makes sure that the paper and the plastic are separated, because there is someone in the end cycle to kind of take care of them. But in the long run, if the kabadis do run out, then I feel that there will still be a need to have our customers, at least provided the tools. And towards that, we're looking at from our next project onwards to even provide a separate box for medical waste.
Wow, that's brilliant, sir. So you've spoken about sourcing of the materials. You've spoken about various needs of the materials. How difficult, challenging it is to source them, and how do you do it?
So like I said, the first step always is knowing. If you don't know, you never find out, right? Once you've identified that you want to do something which is environmentally friendly, I can say this. There's an old saying that goes, find purpose, the means usually follow. Or if you make up your mind to do something, the entire universe conspires with you to do it. So you just have to keep making this statement to every person that you're interacting with, whether it be your supplier, whether it be your contractor. And like I've told you, most human beings have a very good gene in them. They want to do what is right if they know what is right. And towards that, everybody starts aligning to that cause. So when we speak to our architects, we are usually very watchful about telling them that, listen, what we will do is we'll build something that's long-term sustainable. We'll build something that is value for money, but at the same point in time, it's got to be something that is going to be environmentally friendly in terms of the long-term for people. And then they in turn will only allow us to interact with, or only give us the references of, let's say, your facade consultants or your lighting consultants, or even just your landscape consultants, who all believe in the same maxim in life. So it is the path that starts with you, and once you decide to follow it, I think it becomes simple. But having said that, it's very important to continuously train and speak to your own internal teams about these things, and make it absolutely as a guideline or a direction to them that they have to adhere to environmentally friendly norms.
So you just now spoke about segregation of waste, about paper, plastic, medical waste. So what are we doing for the wet waste, or what we generally call wet waste, which is house waste?
So in all buildings, like I told you, we have wet waste separated, and then we have bins that kind of take care of it mechanically or through aeration methods to kind of do it. But something very interesting we did recently, there are a lot of older buildings where these facilities do not exist. Now, we as a company are extremely conscious that only making the change internally will have an impact on a few, but if you make the change externally, then it will have an impact on a few. So what we've done is at Guru Nanak Park, we've learning from Credai Kochi and Credai's Clean City movement, we as Rustomjee have set up bins out there, where wet waste gets treated, and over 40 days through just a mechanical process. So there's no electricity consumed, there is no kind of moving parts that could get that require maintenance. It's just people, and we've employed a few who just collect waste from the vicinity and kind of segregate it, and then we are continuously calling on the ALM of the region and telling them, look, we're doing this for free. At least help us by only, segregating your waste in your kitchen, right? So just segregate. And it's working. It's taken 6 months to work with, I think, about 18 buildings in the neighborhood. And each building is giving us close to around 40 to 50 kgs of waste a day. And this 40 to 50 kgs of waste a day is going into, these bins. And I must say that we had our first produce of good soil, enhancers out there, which we again gave to those buildings, and then they were very happy. So it does work, right? Now they're a lot more responsible, and the children and the families out there are in a way coming and looking at it on a Sunday. So usually when I take a walk around there on a Sunday, I kind of see these kids and their talking to the parents and the parents are talking to them. Like I said, you just have to reach out and educate a person and then kind of make it, a part of that person's life.
Just the idea just needs seeding.
The idea needs seeding. You have to provide the platform basically, and we are in a position to provide that platform, and I think it's working quite well.
Brilliant, sir. So I've known this group for a fair bit now, for 5-6 years, and I know that we initiate great initiatives, event-based initiatives. Today's World Environment Day. Is there anything specific we are doing today?
I must thank you for asking that question. What we do is we take great pride in planting trees. Okay, Rustomjee as a group has been planting trees since its inception. So when we built our first building, I must tell you, there was this entire street in Daisar where we planted about 80 odd trees. And the way we did is we reached out to schools in the area. So what we provided was the sapling, we provided the kind of fencing around it, but we said this tree will be planted by, let's say, a child. And then we'll put the child or that group of children's name on that tree. And then we told those children, while we will water it, at least once in a month, we want them to come over there and monitor those trees. I must tell you that example worked so brilliantly. We've been doing it ever since. So in the World Environment Week, whether you come to Rustomjee Seasons, whether you come to Rustomjee Elements, you come to Rustomjee Paramount, you come to Rustomjee Crown, you go to Summit, you go to Urbania, you go to Global City, just as someone who's interested in making an inquiry, we'll still give you a sapling and we'll say, please plant it. If it means just planting it in your balcony, do so. If it means finding your own old building where you have a little bit of a garden space, please do so. And it gives us great happiness. So I think that is something that we are doing. We're also spreading the message through your channel out here to kind of encourage more people of already existing societies. And there are simple things they can do, like changing the bathroom fittings. It's a small cost to pay, but the savings will be tremendous. Changing just your lights, I must tell you. I was speaking to the head of a big manufacturing company, and they said that across their 6 factories, they incurred a cost of, let's say, 50 crores to change all their lights to LED. How fast do you think recovery was? 18 months. He said the entire cost was recovered in just power saving. And now going forward, it's all going to be a huge saving. Now, when the government has strongly encouraged you to move towards the Swachh Bharat and, has given you schemes to go about and take advantage of, let's say, low LED bulb costs where they're subsidizing it. I think it is our responsibility beyond this. Now, how much more will they do? They cannot come into your house and do it for you. So we should take this advantage. My message out to everybody is, please know, learn, find out about what are the initiatives you can undertake in your own small way. Every person makes a difference. You alone have to start. And with you, if it is the lady of the house, that's the best, because then the husband has to follow, and then the children would love to follow. And once you get that into your children, you have to believe me when I tell you this, they will teach across generations. And I will again repeat, our Indians, we have been extremely conscious of the environment. We worship the neem tree every morning. We are, ones who kind of clean our own yards and keep it clean. We've been extremely frugal in the usage of environmental materials. Our homes have been built for the very longest time with earthy materials. We should continue to be the beacon to the world, and let us take this time, 2019 onwards, to absolutely go out there and become the shining example to everybody in the world that our environment is important, because it is not something we own. It is something that we are here to just enjoy, and it is our children, our next generations, our people who are going to enjoy this in the long term. Let us never forget that.
That's a brilliant message, sir, to end this one. Thank you so much for joining us. That was a CMD, Mr. Boman Irani of Rustomjee Group. We're coming to you live on Facebook from Rustomjee Seasons here in Bandra. Thank you so much.